let's talk money. Let's talk about the thing they told us wasn't ladylike to discuss. The thing they whispered about behind closed doors. The thing we were taught to tiptoe around, but no more. Because today we own our financial power. For too long, we've been told that talking about money is uncomfortable, that it's impolite, that we should just be grateful for what we have and leave the big decisions to someone else. But I'm here to tell you, your financial future is yours to shape. Your money, your choices, your legacy. It's time to break the silence and step into financial freedom. It's time to ask for the raise without apologizing, to negotiate without hesitation, to invest without fear. No more sitting on the sidelines waiting for permission. No more shrinking ourselves to fit into a box that was never built for us. Do you know what happens when women start talking about money? We change the game. We create opportunities. We build businesses. We turn our dreams into reality. We go from paycheck to prosperity, from survival to overflow, from I hope I can to I know I will. Money is not just about numbers in a bank account. It's about security. It's about freedom. It's about walking away from situations that don't serve you because you can. It's about breaking generational cycles and creating a future where our daughters and granddaughters never have to ask for permission to live the lives they deserve. And here's the truth. Nobody is going to hand it to us. We have to take it. We have to do the hard work, have the uncomfortable conversations, and make the bold moves. Because every time a woman claims her financial power, she gives another woman the courage to do the same. So today we start talking, we start learning, we start investing, we start demanding what we're worth, and we do it together. Because when women talk money, we don't just change our own lives, we change the world. For too long, conversations about money have been treated as off limits. Especially for women, it's been seen as impolite, inappropriate, or even unnecessary, as if financial matters are something we should quietly accept rather than actively engage in. But the truth is, the silence around money has held too many women back for too long. Growing up, many of us were taught that money talk was for someone else, maybe for men, for financial experts, for the wealthy. We were told to focus on saving a little, spending wisely, and avoiding debt, but rarely were we encouraged to think bigger, to plan strategically, or to build wealth with confidence. That stops now. Because every woman deserves to understand money, control it, and make it work for her. Talking about money is not just about budgeting or saving. It's about power. It's about knowing your worth, asking for more, and refusing to settle for less. It's about discussing salaries openly so that pay gaps are exposed instead of hidden. It's about sharing knowledge so that one woman's success becomes a roadmap for another. It's about removing shame from financial struggles and replacing it with strategies for growth. When women start talking about money, they start making better financial decisions, setting bigger goals, and inspiring each other to push past limitations. The more we share, the more we learn, and the more we learn, the more we earn, invest, and build futures that aren't just comfortable, but limitless. Financial independence is more than just having money in the bank. It's about having control, choices, and confidence in every decision. It's about never having to stay in a situation that no longer serves you because of financial limitations. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, whether in your career, relationships, or personal life, you have the ability to stand on your own. For generations, women have been taught to be careful with money, but not necessarily powerful with it. We've been encouraged to save, but not always to invest, to spend wisely, but not necessarily to negotiate for more, to manage a household budget, but not always to build wealth. That narrative has to change. Because financial independence is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Earning your own money isn't just a paycheck, it's freedom. It's the ability to say yes to opportunities and no to limitations. It's about walking into any room and knowing you belong there, not because someone allowed you in, but because you built your own way. It's about knowing that wealth is not just for a select few, but for any woman willing to claim it, work for it, and grow it. And financial independence doesn't mean you have to do it alone. It means learning, sharing, and surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. It means taking bold steps, making smart moves, and believing that you are capable of more than you've ever been told. Because when you control your money, you control your life. The gender pay gap is not just a statistic. It's a reality that affects millions of women every single day. It's the quiet difference between what women earn and what they deserve. It's the reason two people can do the same job with the same qualifications, yet one walks away with more while the other is told to be grateful for what she gets. It's not just about fairness, it's about the value placed on women's work, time, and contributions. And it's time to bridge that gap once and for all. For too long, women have been conditioned to accept less. We've been told not to ask for too much, not to rock the boat, not to come across as demanding. But why is confidence seen as a strength in men and a flaw in women? Why are we still fighting for equal pay when the work speaks for itself? The truth is, the system wasn't built for us to win easily. But that doesn't mean we stop pushing forward. The change starts with knowledge and action. It starts with women openly discussing salaries, negotiating without hesitation, and refusing to accept outdated excuses. It starts with challenging companies to do better and supporting organizations that value equality. It starts with knowing our worth and never settling for anything less. Every time a woman speaks up, she makes it easier for the next woman to do the same. Every time a woman asks for more, she paves the way for a future where the next generation won't have to fight as hard. Because this isn't just about one paycheck. It's about rewriting the rules so that no woman ever has to question if she's being paid what she's worth. For too long, women have been taught to save money, but not necessarily to grow it. We've been encouraged to set aside what we can, be careful with spending, and avoid risk. But saving alone isn't enough to build true financial security. The real key to wealth isn't just in holding on to what we earn, it's in making our money work for us. And that starts with investing. Investing isn't just for Wall Street experts or people with millions in the bank. It's for every woman who wants to build a future that's bigger than just getting by. It's about turning income into assets, small steps into major gains, and short-term discipline into long-term success. It's about understanding that money sitting in a savings account is losing value over time, while money invested wisely has the power to For years, the financial industry has been dominated by men, making investing seem like an exclusive club. But that's a myth designed to keep women out of the conversation. The truth is, women are naturally great investors. Studies show that when women invest, they tend to be more strategic, patient, and successful in the long run. The only thing holding us back is the outdated belief that it's too complicated or too risky. But risk isn't investing, it's in not investing. It's in relying on one source of income, one paycheck, one safety net. The time to start is now. Whether it's stocks, real estate, or starting a business, every dollar invested is a step toward financial independence. It's a step toward breaking generational cycles, toward securing a future where wealth isn't just something we admire in others, but something we create for ourselves. Because financial freedom isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you build. Negotiation is not just a skill, it's a necessity. Yet for too long, women have been told to be grateful for what they're offered rather than to ask for what they deserve. We've been conditioned to believe that negotiating might make us seem difficult, ungrateful, or even too ambitious. But here's the truth. Every time we hesitate to negotiate, we leave money, opportunities, and power on the table. And that stops now. Asking for more is not being demanding, it's knowing your worth. The reality is that companies expect negotiations, but they don't always encourage them. That's why men negotiate their salaries more often than women, and as a result, they start higher and stay ahead. But the moment a woman steps into her power, does her research, and confidently states her value, everything changes. Negotiation isn't just about salary, it's about respect. It's about promotions, benefits, leadership roles, and the recognition that we bring just as much value, if not more, to the table. It's about refusing to settle for less simply because it feels uncomfortable to ask for more, because discomfort is temporary, but the financial impact of not negotiating lasts for years. And negotiation isn't just personal, it's collective. When one woman negotiates, she sets a precedent. She normalizes the conversation. She gives another woman permission to do the same. The more we speak up, the more we shift the culture until asking for more isn't seen as bold, it's seen as standard. Because confidence isn't a luxury, it's a game changer. And when women negotiate, they don't just change their own lives, they change the system. Fear has kept too many women from taking control of their finances for far too long. Fear of making a mistake, fear of not knowing enough, fear of losing what little they have. But fear is not a financial strategy, it's a barrier. And the only way to overcome it is to shift the mindset from scarcity to abundance, from hesitation to action, from doubt to confidence. Money has often been framed as something complicated, something overwhelming, something better left to the expert. But the truth is, financial success is not about knowing everything. It's about taking the first step. It's about learning, asking questions, and being willing to make smart, informed decisions, even when they feel uncomfortable. The fear of investing, the fear of negotiating, the fear of managing money independently, none of these fears are real limitations. They are learned beliefs passed down through generations that were told money wasn't for them to control. Breaking free from financial fear means realizing that every woman is capable of making powerful money moves. It means recognizing that setbacks are not failures, they are lessons. It means understanding that confidence doesn't come before action, it comes because of action. The first investment, the first budget, the first negotiation, all of it feels uncomfortable until it becomes second nature. The only real risk is staying stuck in the same place, allowing fear to dictate decisions instead of strategy. Women are more than capable of handling money, growing wealth, and building financial independence. The key is not in avoiding mistakes, but in refusing to let the fear of them hold you back. Because confidence with money isn't something you wait for, it's something you build one decision at a time. Wealth is not just about today, it's about creating something that lasts beyond a single lifetime. It's about making financial decisions that don't just serve the present, but build a foundation for future generations. Too often, women are taught to think only in terms of getting by, saving just enough, and making ends meet. But real financial power comes when we shift our mindset from short-term survival to long-term legacy. Generational wealth is not just for the privileged, it's for the intentional. It's for the woman who decides that her children and grandchildren will not start from zero. It's for the woman who understands that knowledge is just as powerful as money, and teaching financial literacy is just as important as earning. It's for the woman who chooses to invest, to build, to own assets instead of just working for a paycheck. The cycle of financial struggle does not have to be repeated. Every woman has the ability to break it by making bold choices today. owning property instead of just renting, investing in stocks instead of just saving, starting a business instead of just working for someone else. These are the moves that create a future where money is no longer a source of stress, but a source of security. And wealth is not just about money. It's about options. It's about giving the next generation the freedom to dream bigger, to take risks, to have opportunities that were never available before. It's about making sure that financial success is not an exception in your family, it's the standard. Because when one woman builds wealth, she doesn't just change her own life. She changes the lives of everyone who comes after her. Money has power, but so does community. Women have been told for too long to handle finances quietly, to figure things out alone, to compete rather than collaborate. But the truth is, financial success is never a solo journey. It's built through shared knowledge, support, and the willingness to uplift one another. When women come together and openly talk about money, they don't just break barriers. They build new pathways for success. Community is where real change happens. It's in the conversations where women share salary insights, investment strategies, and financial wins. It's in the mentorship that turns uncertainty into confidence. It's in the support that says you don't have to have all the answers, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Because the reality is, when one woman learns how to grow wealth, negotiate better, or invest smarter, she creates a ripple effect that benefits every woman around her. Financial independence doesn't mean isolation. It means building a network of like-minded women who push each other higher, who celebrate success instead of resenting it, who understand that wealth is not limited, it's something that expands when shared. The power of community is in knowing that every lesson learned, every risk taken, every barrier broken makes it easier for the next woman to step forward with confidence. Success is not just about individual wins. It's about lifting as you climb. It's about making sure that no woman feels like she's navigating finances alone. Because when women come together, support each other, and share what they know, they don't just change their own financial future. They change the future for all of us. The conversation about women and money is no longer one we can afford to avoid. It's not just about numbers. It's about power, security, and the ability to create the life we deserve. It's about stepping into rooms with confidence, making bold financial moves, and refusing to let outdated beliefs define our worth. The time for silence is over. The time for playing small is over. Now is the time to talk openly, to negotiate fiercely, to invest wisely, and to build legacies that last for generations. Because when women take control of their money, they take control of their future. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep learning, growing, and lifting each other up. Let's create a world where financial success is not just possible for women, it's expected. Because when women talk money, they don't just change their own lives, they change the world.